All right, good afternoon. Just finished up our Friday practice. Thought the folks here did a heck of a job with the surface, and we had a little moisture out there, but team got a full day of work, and it was some good work as we get ready to play the Cleveland Browns on Sunday. It's been a good week here so far, and hoping to wrap it up here, and just wanted to once again take the opportunity to thank everybody here at Hanbury and all the people with the league and absolutely our staff with the Vikings for the multi-kind of week trip that they've put together for us. Just giving you an update on some game statuses. Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Michael Juergens, J.J. McCarthy, Brian O'Neill, and Andrew Van Ginkel will be ruled out. And then Tyler Batty, C.J. Ham, and Ben Urosic will be questionable for the game. All three of those guys were able to get some work, or really in Tyler and CJ's chance. They're healthy, and we'll see what it looks like for the 48 to get those guys up and going. And then Ben Urosic was able to get some limited work in today and is progressing and feeling pretty good. So we'll see how the group looks this weekend. Yeah, I got a lot of confidence, in the group that we're going to put out there, and they've had a good week, so they're ready to go. Yep, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We were out there, very similar structure to what we would normally have, and outside of practicing where we're living, it's been very much the same.
Okay, and I want to ask you about Sunday's opponent, Cleveland Browns. Of course, they gave you your first coaching job back in 2015. How would you attribute that, plus playing with Brady when you were a player, and then since then working with Ray? How would you view your time with the Browns as something that's helped you as a coach nowadays, where you're seen by a lot of people as someone who has excellence working with quarterbacks?
Yeah, it's a unique part of my football journey. Specifically, my first coaching job. Really as a player, I had spent a lot of time with Mike Pettin when he was the defensive coordinator of the New York Jets, and I was still a player. Oddly enough, being told I should think about coaching even when I was a player, which isn't always the best thing to hear. And then Pet takes a chance and gives me an opportunity to coach the quarterbacks, and one of the quarterbacks in that room was Josh McCown, who's now my quarterback coach here and does a tremendous job. But I learned so much that year, learned basically that fast tracking of what you think you would be as a coach and how to coach a room and play a role on a staff and try to help a team as best you can. Even maybe with limited experience, you're always learning on the job and kind of learning that trait of figured outness, which is unique and important to coaching. Obviously, the time around Tom Brady kind of started it all, and it wasn't just Tom. It was Coach Belichick, Josh McDaniels, a whole bunch of really, really unique special players on that team that really, everywhere I looked, there could be something to absorb and see that would help not only in the present of my football journey, but where I've ended up going with it in the coaching space. And then Sean McVay is, although I'm about 10 months older than him, he is one of my mentors and one of my very good friends that has taught me so much about being yourself and being authentic as a head coach, and then trying to lead from a certain category that's built around integrity and how you treat people and how you communicate with people. And just getting the most out of players and really all the relationships that you form when you get this job.
Justin Jefferson said last week in Dublin, the whole trip to Europe feels a little bit like summer camp.
Yeah.
What was your highlight so far?
Well, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask, just because I tend to be, pretty attached to where we're staying and what we have going on. But my highlight has just been seeing the players when we were in Dublin. You see them when we got done the walkthrough on Saturday. You see guys go out and go around town, and all of them coming back with souvenirs and things, and kind of making the most of that trip. And then having been here twice before, playing in Tottenham here twice in our first 3 years, this is our third time. Guys kind of know what to expect, but at the same time, they've really looked forward to the time together, whether it's you go in the meal room at night, and normally when we're back home, it can be a pretty scarce crowd in there of just coaches and some folks there. For dinner, we got every chair taken, and just the energy and the vibes in the room Although we're coming off not winning a game, you wouldn't know it just by how these guys work, how they have kind of committed to bonding together. And I do view this in this day and age. We have an unbelievable training camp set up at our home facility. Our fans are right there. We have a wonderful place to stay every night right across the street. So this is a little different. This does kind of feel like true camp in a lot of ways, but it happens to be in a critical point in the season as we head into our bye after this game.
Coach, after last season, everything went sort of swimmingly, a really good record made through sort of the season. This year, it kind of seems to be one challenge after another. JJ going down,
Yep.
over to Ireland, and then over here to London. How have the team kind of adjusted to what feels like constantly changing circumstances?
Yeah, I'm very fortunate to have some players that kind of look at things through a similar lens as I do, where adversity or challenges or obstacles are really just opportunities for growth from a team standpoint, where what can that mean to you when you're able to overcome that, some of those things, and find a way to win a game. We were close to doing it in game. Last week we didn't do enough to get it done, and that would definitely be the case with our other loss this year as well, where we were playing quite a few guys on the offensive line and trying to find a path to victory. We didn't do it in either one of those games. We did in our other two, and now we get the fifth opportunity. But I'm a big believer if you're looking for obstacles and excuses, you're probably going to find them. So why would we take the time and energy to look? And let's just focus on what we need to focus on in the present. And I think things will work out for this team because of the type of players and coaches we have, and my confidence level in the group is as high as it's ever been.
Kevin, what stood out about the way Carson prepared this week and working with different centers?
Yeah, I think he's gotten enough time now. It all goes back to, that Thursday practice after JJ's, high ankle sprain, where he was able, or really when he had his baby, and then the week of prep. So he's really going on now his second complete full week of preparation going into a start, and just all those logged reps are starting to be where you can have some things to circle back on that's not just what you did in Philly or LA or Kansas City or Indy or any of the other spots he's been. It's now, I remember this rep from a couple Thursdays ago. I didn't see this right, and here's why. And then the dialogue with us to him of how can we make this fit your eye and fit your comfort level the absolute best way we can, and that's how we're going to do it. And we've got the type of players that can adjust and incorporate those things at the skill positions and along the offensive line that helps Carson hopefully just continue to be comfortable. First and foremost, it's not going to be comfortable for one snap playing against this defense on Sunday. We know that, one of the best in football. But at the same time, if the guys in the huddle do their jobs and we just get simple execution done at a high level, I think we're going to compete and have a chance against these guys. And that's the way they've prepared, and that's very much what I'm looking forward to see on Sunday. Yeah, I think I was mentioning this to Wes and a couple of our other guys today. Just yesterday was a little bit more of a physical practice, and you're watching, Joe in there during the reps he was in, and just feels so rooted and strong, and he's got some pretty unique power to him, and then enough movement skills and athleticism to kind of pair that together and still use the power even when he gets out of position at times, which is going to happen. It's going to happen throughout the pass game. It happens in the run game phase. They don't just stay exactly where you think they're going to be all the time. And he was able to, show that in the preseason. Joe was one of those guys that probably, I don't always tell you guys this, but he probably made the team a heck of a lot earlier than the cut-down day, at least in my mind, just with what you could not only see in the present with the player, but where we think he can go in the future. And he's done nothing but enhance, a lot of those opinions with his time leading up to now, and he's going to get an opportunity to show us where he's at on Sunday. Yeah, he got through pretty well. Obviously with the weather today, my hope was to try to get him some work in individual, but with the weather and the tight field space, we're working on a 100-yard field. We wanted to be smart with that, but very much looking forward to spending some time with him next week and then see where he's at coming out of the bye.
Last two.
After multiple losses and injuries, how do you keep your players motivated? Is there anything in specific that you do?
I think they get used to hearing me speak a lot. I do a meeting every Wednesday talking about what it's going to take to win the game in detail about the opponent. But more and more, it's been about us. It's been about our ability to execute and just do our jobs from an all-11 standpoint. And then, we've learned through some of our success in the past, especially, winning 14 games or winning 13 games, that, the only one that matters is the next one. And we learned that the hard way last year. So this team and this group and just our way of doing things kind of leads you right back into your routine of attacking the opportunity to play one game, 60 minutes, however long it takes, maybe 10 minutes more than that if you need it, to go try to win one game. And then, we'll go into this bye and hopefully get healthy, start the path to getting some of those guys back from injuries and see how quickly maybe we can get to a place where we've got the original kind of group we thought we'd have. But when we do that, we're also now going to have a group with a heck of a lot of experience across our whole team, which is going to be a positive for the rest of the year.
Last one. Coach, just about going through this process now, you're almost to the end of this week in the game.
2 sleeps left.
2 sleeps left,
Yep.
that's correct.
Who's counting?
Do you feel this is, there you go, who's got it? Do you feel that this is a process that can be worked out for more teams in the future, or do you think that this may be a tough ask?
No,
in the middle of the season?
I think as like anything the NFL has done from an international standpoint, I think anything is possible. I think they've tried, their absolute best, and we've got a great group of people that work for us in-house that have made the trip very much one that I think is absolutely doable. I think you look at, I think there's going to be some factors, in the future if this is something that is going to become a normal reality. There could be some other conversations about roster size and practice squad and game day and all those things, because you play one game and you don't get I've said this a few times, but we don't get a script of how it's going to go, not only last Sunday but then leading into this Sunday. And there's not exactly a bunch of experienced NFL football players, a hop, skip, and a jump away. So from a roster standpoint, there's some challenges. From a when in the season is it going to be happening? When is it going to take place? What does it look like after for your team? What does it look like leading into those scenarios for your team? So I think all those things will be accounted for. They always are. The league does a tremendous job. But I'm proud that our team has attacked it the way they have. And, we've gotten 2 opportunities to play out here, one of which didn't go our way. But we got a great opportunity to go play good football against a really good team that also had to travel here. If they were a team local here, maybe that would be a different conversation. But by the time the ball gets kicked off, it's just football, and no matter where you play it, I know our guys would play in the parking lot if they would let them. So very much looking forward to it.